All right, using these simple tricks, I basically doubled my beat sales. But first, I want to explain the importance of making good beats, because for some reason, a lot of you guys out there just think you could upload some dog shit beats and sell a lot, which really confuses me. But making quality beats is going to be what makes you stand out from your competition. For some reason, people think this market's oversaturated, and that's because this market is really just oversaturated with mid producers. So if you can make a good quality beat, then you're really going to stand out from the crowd and you're going to sell way more than everyone else. Honestly, just a couple years ago, my beats really weren't that good, and I was just grinding and grinding away on this type beat channel, not having that much success. But then I figured out how to actually get better. A lot of people get stuck, just kind of stagnant, not improving. They get complacent with their beat quality. But I figured out how to get better, and from there, I was able to sell way more. I had a beat here, not even 2,000 views. And I made maybe 5-6 leases off that, which isn't like obviously like, you know, crazy numbers, but for the views is pretty good. Then I have another beat that had like 10K views, and I think it only sold once. And that's just because I know that beat that didn't get as many views was super good quality. So even with less views, you can still sell a good amount of beats. But yeah, the first thing I want to say is you have to put your ego down. A lot of you guys think you should be producing for Drake or Travis Scott or any of the big dogs, but you should probably be producing for that shitty SoundCloud rapper with like 20 followers. So yeah, I think something that each and every one of you should do, and I do this all the time, go right now, whatever your niche is, go on YouTube and look up the type beat creators that make that niche. Look at the top people, the most viewed ones, and compare your beats to them. Be brutally honest. And you're gonna realize that you're not that good. Don't try and cope and be like, oh, you know, maybe they're just a little bit better, but no, just be brutally honest. If they're way better than you, then don't even be surprised if you're not gonna sell beats and not get views. So now that you've been humbled a little bit, because I'm gonna assume most of you guys aren't there, we'll be honest. Now, how do I actually improve? How do you actually improve your beats? Speaking from personal experience, I got stuck in this loop of just watching YouTube tutorials after YouTube tutorials, not even really digesting the information, just kind of watching them, thinking I was doing anything productive. But at the end of the day, they can only get you so far. They help, but if you don't actually implement the skills, then it's not helpful. So first and foremost, practice daily. Every single morning, I've been starting the morning with one beat or one loop, just one something, just to get my skills done. This is something I've implemented recently, and it's been helping a lot because I'll really just focus and try and make the best beat possible, because I set the goal of just one single beat rather than trying to make a whole pack where you're trying to rush. So just one, hone in on your skills, really focus on getting better there. So that's a little actionable step. After this, just go make a beat, go make a loop, whatever you're trying to improve on the most. But yeah, the next thing I want to say is, if you are going to make your stuff and you have no idea what to make, use references. This is something that's helped me a lot. Look up type beats on YouTube, use them as a reference. Look at songs you like, use them as a reference. I know you've heard the quote, and I'll say it again, good artists copy, great artists steal. So there's no shame in using somebody else's chord progression or, you know, taking inspiration from a certain drum pattern they did. Because let's be real, every song uses like the same chords, so it's not even like it's unique to them. On the topic of that, another important thing that's helped me drastically is to just know your chord progressions, know your drum patterns that are going to sound good. I can know how something's going to sound before I even press play just by building out the pattern. Something else I've done is I've put all the basic chord progressions in my niche in a folder. I exported them all as MIDIs, and then whenever I'm just trying to make something super quickly, or if I don't have inspiration, I'll just kind of drag through the MIDIs, and then I'll start with that as a reference. I might actually drop that as like a free kit from me to you guys, just as a thank you, maybe when I hit 3K subs or something. But I really just made it for myself, and it's helped drastically. So, you know, go through your niche, look at the most used chord progressions, put those as MIDIs, and then you can use those as references. Another thing that has really drastically improved my skills isn't even my skills, it's just the sound selection I'm using. Because trap beats, I assume most of you guys are trap producers, they're dumb simple. You don't have to be a good producer to make a good trap beat, I'm not gonna lie. You just have to have the proper sounds, so, you know, good drum kits, good VSTs. I have my own drum kit for Memphis and funk stuff. If you're interested in that, it's always in the description. But, you know, just find good kits in your niche, or you can make your own sounds if you're talented enough for that. Here's an example of a beat with just shitty, just basic FL Studio sounds, and then here's a beat with my sounds. You could tell just everything. I didn't even mix it at all. This is unmixed and it sounds way better. Speaking of the mix, a good clean industry mix is something that makes a bad beat into a perfect beat, or a perfect beat ruined into a bad beat. A lot of the top beats on YouTube are just super simple beats, but they have a super clean mix, and I think that makes it easy to listen to, and then the artist will just rap on it. It's easy enough. I'll touch back on that in a second, but if you're doing the YouTube game, I assume a lot of you guys are here because you want to grow your type beat channels. The type beats have to be dumb simple again. I'll say it again. My beats nowadays, or back in the day actually, I had a melody with like 4 or 5 different layers. I had 808s, kicks, snares, counter snares, hats, open hats, couple percussion elements, risers, transitions, and the list goes on. Nowadays, I got my melody, which at most, 5 sounds, but maybe minimum 2. Kick, sometimes, not even always, 808, snare, hi-hat. And if we're really feeling it, we'll add like an open hat or something. So a lot more simple. And the arrangement itself is also pretty simple. You have to have things moving every 8 bars just to keep the listeners in, but much more simple than it used to be. When I do like my placement beats, or if I'm working with an artist directly, that's when I kind of spice it up a little bit more. You got crazy transitions over there, risers here, beat switches and all that. But in the type beat game, very simple. And the last thing I want to say is to just be present and don't mindlessly make beats. Speaking from experience again, sometimes I would just, I'd have to do my daily uploads for the type beat channel. So I'd wake up, I'd make 7 beats super quickly and be done. What I'm doing now, every morning, I'll just make my 1 beat for the day, really focus in, make the best beat possible, and then I'll be done. So I don't have to worry about 6 other ones that day, and I can just really perfect my craft on that one. I know it sounds super simple and obvious, but a lot of people are out there mindlessly making beats. They're not trying to get better every single time. And I was stuck in this place for like 2 years where I was just complacent with my skills. I wasn't really improving that much, and I was just making the same stuff over and over again. But after I implemented all those tips, my beat sales honestly went through the roof. I landed placements way easier. I grew type beat channels easier. I'm not growing channels now. Well, I have a new one coming out soon, but I haven't been growing channels now. But when I was, things were going way easier than they used to. So with that being said, I hope you implemented those skills. Now I want you to re-compare yourself to the top producers with your new beats. And you just got to keep grinding and keep practicing until you're up to par or even better than them, and then I think you're ready. With that being said, that is everything I've done to improve my beats. If you want to learn how to become financially and location free through your producing career, click the first link in the description below to one-on-one work with me. With all that being said, click here to watch another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.